All right. So we have December 15th, 1995 up tonight. The Spectrum for Member John. And look at this. We'll get started because they sure did. Chalk Dust Torture, Harry Hood, Wilson, Mays, all uninterrupted. Most of the first set uninterrupted, really. And everything, very normal versions. Nothing that went, they didn't take too many turns left, right. They pretty much just kept going straight forward. The Hood here, though, look, second song of the night. I'm ready for that. I'll take it every time. But I will say, kind of once they got to the crescendo part in Hood, maybe it's just because I've gotten so used to these modern day ones. But that one maybe even needs a little bit. It was just like, man, it was a slow build, but yet they were just burning it up the whole time. And look, this was an audience recording. That part of the show particularly was a little bit in and out, up and down, So perhaps a good quality soundboard of that would be, I'd have a different take on the Hood. But then the Wilson and Chalk Dust, sandwiching that, just rocking out. Not a whole lot going on in there. And then the Maze, same thing, just blasting into ha ha ha. This was a little, I would have expected on paper the ha 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 to have followed Suspicious Minds and Hold Your Head Up. Trey, somewhere in here, mentioned that Jethro Tull was his very first show at the Spectrum. I believe he also saw Frank Zappa at the Spectrum, Trey did. So, look, I'll take Fishman with the Suspicious Minds anytime. Unfortunately, though, we get another Fishman song over here, and ha ha ha, I like it. Always something cool's coming when ha ha ha's on the set list. Hold Your Head Up, Cars, Trucks, and Buses, bouncing around the room, then the 95 Free, as we've come to expect, and I've kind of been, I guess reinformed on, I've listened to a bunch of 95 shows, but never usually this much in back to back to back, sort of. And then all of them having a free, very popular song, and still a very popular song in the set list. But, the percussion here just had a different feel to it. All kind of had that windy, like a spaceship is sort of going to take off sound to them. But I dug it, but this one was probably my least favorite of the ones so far. We got a Wild Possum here, a bunch of Signals. I think we got the All Fall Down, the Simpsons. Maybe Trey was teasing something in there at some point. So a pretty good first set here. For the start to the set, just fire. Then we got a little fun, some antics, and then we cooled it off here a little bit. Cars, Trucks, and Buses bouncing. If that's the weak point of your set, that's pretty strong, actually. This is probably like, I don't know, what, a 4 out of 6 maybe? Something like that. And then Tweezer Reprise. I don't know what was going on with Tweezer Reprise either. I didn't really check. I didn't dig too much into the show. Took a peek at the set list. And it was like, oh, a rotation jam. Tweezer Reprise. So possibly they had played Tweezer with no reprise. And in fact, I think they did recently. A show I listened to recently that happened. I don't know. Maybe it was the one right before this. Possibly. I don't know. Now I'm thinking about that. Maybe that was why. Well, anyways, fans were probably like, where was Reprise? Where was Reprise? Tweez Reprise! Tweez Reprise! Please, please! So I like it. I'm a fan of that one. That's kind of a rocker to get to set the tone for the second set, really. Then we go into Runaway Jim. It's jamming out, but then still it's starting to feel like maybe, okay, this is what we had going on in the first set. Great songs. Not bad by any means, but then we got a little weird here. Then the It's Ice hits. Kind of got the spooky kind of haunted house kind of feel sound to it, and like some weird voices. I was just like, almost like the Sling Blade kind of voice to it. I don't know what that was exactly. I couldn't tell if it was coming from something recorded, if it was from one of the guys. And then I'm on video at this point too, because the Bathtub Gin luckily was on YouTube. Kind of a little easier to figure out what's going on in the rotation jam. We just got a nice normal Bathtub Gin. And then they spotlight Page. Page is playing, doing his thing. And then the spotlight goes off a Page. They light the stage up. You got Mike and Trey sitting there on stools. And then they're still playing a little bit. Not a lot going on, though. Then it goes dark again. And then when it relights the stage, everybody had kind of shuffled around a little bit, rotated, I suppose. But really, not a ton going on musically. I believe it was so, man, and dude, this VHS was rough. And Paige and Mike, I was like, I'm pretty sure that's Mike on guitar. That would seem to be the standard thing. Paige was on bass, Fishman on keyboards, instead of Fishman out front on bass, and then Trey obviously on drums. Trey, I believe, is a drummer at heart sometimes. Any opportunity he gets, he will hop on that drum kit. And not to mention the percussion on here, this whole tour. Well, anyways, it felt like the rotation jam was just to get them into this. But we already got a Fishman tune over here. I mean, a funny Fishman tune. Like, this was like, are we being serious? What exactly is going on here, It wasn't goofy enough to be too obvious. So And the rotation jam, they only did a few times. I don't know. I wish they would have maybe at least. That's something that was cool to try, I suppose. I don't know. It just didn't lead to much. And then the 2001 led to the Bowie. But again, it felt like the 2001 was only there to get us to the Bowie. Which, and luckily it did, because then there was this part in the Bowie where Mike and Fishman, Trey's just kind of sitting there waiting to jump in. And then I think he liked what they were doing so much. It just kind of had I don't know, it just kind of had a hard feel to it, just those two going. And then when Trey jumps in, it gets kind of more to the form of Bowie. Finishing strong there. Got the acapella Sweet Adeline. And then Good Times, Bad Times, Tweez Reprise. Ending, I don't know, back to back, or ending the sets there. Beginning and ending the set is what I'm trying to say. So, really, the It's Ice was a big, strong one. Bowie was very cool. Over here, I like the free. I'm into these mid-90s frees here. And then I like this, but then, come on, really, do we need more of that? And I don't know. I didn't quite catch. Maybe I was missing something. I didn't quite catch why the ha 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 was before and not after. I don't know. Where they hit was Fishman up on the mic every night, and I mean, I don't know. I should have looked. Maybe now I will look. I don't know. Maybe you guys can tell me. You guys should have told me. You're like, hey, let's check next to Chalk Dust. All right, guys, boom, we are out of here. Thanks, John. And one last look. All right, I tried to shorten it up a little bit. I still went 6.5 minutes. I was looking at. We're out of here. Boom. Thanks, guys.